Today's video, we're going to talk about being prepared to protect yourself and your family in situations where you may not be able to have your normal tools. If you've been watching this channel for very long, you know that I believe that as a free human being, we have both the right and the responsibility to be prepared to protect ourselves and our families from unprovoked violence. And I think absolutely having a firearm and the training to use it effectively is one of the best ways to do that. But you know as well as I do that in today's society, there are a lot of places where that's just not possible. If you've been on an airplane lately, if you had to go to a courthouse lately, heck, if you've been to a sporting event or a music concert lately, you probably had to go through some sort of metal detection device where they're trying to screen out anything that could potentially be used as a weapon, even down to something as simple as this little tiny Swiss Army knife. And certainly, I made a video a few years ago, there's some options like this non-metallic dagger or this non-metallic knife here that, yes, they will get through a metal detector, no problems. But many places, if you get caught with these, you're going to be in serious trouble. And this might get through a metal detector. It's not going to get through the scanner at the airport, and you're going to be in big trouble using that. So what if I told you that there is an extremely effective, highly practical, and 100% legal tool that you can use to greatly enhance your ability to protect yourself and your family? Well, in today's video, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I came to be interested in this tool and show you some examples of what I think are the best examples of this kind of tool. And briefly, we'll talk about why I think it's such a good idea. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video where, as I said, we're going to talk about a very effective, practical, and totally legal tool you can have with you to enhance your ability to protect yourself and your family. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from Proverbs 27, verse 12 in the NLT translation. I thought it was especially appropriate. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. And real quickly before we get started, here's a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at XS Sights, the fastest sight in any light. I've been using XS Sights for a lot of years, and it's really cool to have them as a channel sponsor. XS Sights are made in the USA in the great state of Texas, and you can save 15% on your order at their website by using the coupon code SOP15. Okay, we're back, and I said I was going to tell you a quick story about how I became interested in this particular tool and why I decided to explore it further. So we'll get right to that. A few weeks ago, I had the chance to go to the church defense class at Gunsight Academy in Paulden, Arizona. And there were like 15 of us in class, I think, from churches all across America, learning to be more effective with our firearms and be better protectors of our people, of innocent people. One of the guys in the class was also from Georgia. We wound up on the same flight coming back to Atlanta. I noticed at the airport that he had this tool with him, and I hadn't seen it all week. I said, man, what kind of tool is that? Where'd you get that? And he said, well, I can't have a pistol on the airplane, but I can certainly have this. And it is a very effective defense tool. I thought, you know what? It looks like it would be. I need to learn more about that because my wife and I are going on a church trip next year out of the country, and I can't have a firearm or even a knife where I'm going. So I thought, you know what? It might be a really good idea to have a tool like this. Okay, so what is this magical tool I keep referring to? Well, if you haven't already guessed, I'm talking about a good old traditional cane. And no, this is not a sword cane. There's no go-go gadget goodies in here. This is just a wooden cane, just wood with a rubber tip on it. So why is this such a good option for to have with you places you can't have other tools? Well, you can take this on an airplane. You can take it in a courthouse. You can take it to a sporting event. You can take it to a music venue. You could even take this with you in the White House. Not only can they not tell you you can't have it, they can't even ask you why you need it because of the Americans with Disabilities Act and the HIPAA rule from 2003 about medical privacy. So you can just have your cane with you, period. So why do I think this is such a good piece of self-defense tool? Well, first of all, this particular cane is 1 inch of solid hickory. It's hard. If you were to apply this to someone in a bony area of an aggressor, it's probably going to hurt really bad, and it might even break a bone. It certainly is going to inflict a little pain, and maybe they'll stop aggressing at you, if that's a word, and you can get away. And as always, just to be clear, from a legal standpoint, any tool you use for self-defense, your right to use that tool in a violent manner is only to stop the aggression against you. When the threat against you is neutralized, stopped, it's no longer a threat, whether because they ran away, because they can't chase you, or whatever, then you're no longer within your rights to continue to use violence on them. So I like this because, A, it's about 3 feet long, so it extends your area of influence greatly, helps you keep people further away from you if they're trying to do you harm. It's also, like I said, it's a piece of solid, very solid hickory. So it's, man, this is probably one of the oldest known self-defense tools known to man, the good old-fashioned caveman club. So, what kind of cane is the best self-defense cane? Well, let me just give you a couple of examples. I bought 2 canes from the folks at Cane Masters. This is a Cane Masters round dojo training cane, and it cost about $65. It is 1 inch of solid hardwood with a nice crook here and a rubber tip on it. And by the way, all the canes at Cane Masters are handcrafted in the USA and South Florida from premium American hardwoods. They offer oak or hickory and several different grades of hickory in some of their nicer canes. They have 6 different finishes. This is just the natural tongue oil finish. Multiple options, different horn styles, different, all kinds of doodads you get on there. I'll show you an example of a little fancier one in a minute. But first, I want to compare. This is a $20 cane I got from Amazon, and you can notice, you can see it. Let me give you a little close up. So this cane is laminated. You can see the laminations there, and you can also, if you look closely, I think you can see it. Got a focus here, little cracks in the lamination. And the other thing you see, look at the end of the horn here, it's nice, it's very, very round. And it's kind of a smaller crook. My hand really doesn't quite fit in it. This Cane Masters cane, on the other hand, is not laminated. It is 100% solid, steamed and bent hardwood. This is hickory. And if you look at the end of it here, compared to the end of this one, which is round, you can see this one's got a little bit of an angle on it, which gives you just a little bit of a way to focus some force on a smaller area, a concentrated area. And why, you might ask, would you want to focus force on a concentrated area? Well, one of the things I learned about using this cane, people always think it's a club, right? And it could be. It could be used as a club. But if somebody's got you in a chokehold or come behind you and say, you know, there's some nerves up here. If you take that little concentrated area there, it's going to concentrate that force, then you're going to probably numb their arm and you can get away. It just gives you a way to, it's just another little tool that's very innocuous looking, but it's very useful. So that's the $65 round dojo training cane. Why did I buy a training cane? Well, this thing's going to get probably dinged up, beat up through training and practicing on the old Bob dummy and all these different things. Learning, just because I did get a training class, bought a training class with this from another company, just to try to improve my skills, because you know I believe in training. And so what I don't want is to have a cane that's going to draw attention and look like it's been beat all to pieces, like it's been used for whacking stuff, because I want to be under the radar. Same reason I carry concealed. So I bought this cane for my everyday use cane. This is the Personal Protection Walking Cane Plus. This one is a little more money. Okay, it's a lot more money. This thing started at $300. I paid another $10 for the color. This is dark brown, and then another $45 for the copper tip just to make it last longer. And it's got a little rubber base on it, and it's so altogether I've got $355 in this thing, which is about the cost of a cheap firearm. But I always had the mindset that if it's something that's going to be used to protect myself and my family, that's not the place to cut corners. So I wanted the palm rest here. That's an option that's available. You can get this thing for a little less money without the palm rest. That when you're using the cane, it just gives you somewhere to put your hand down there and kind of rest nice and easily. And also, it's another place that you can focus some impact and focus the energy in a smaller area. So you can use that kind of like that. It's not you're gonna chop wood with that. You can see it's kind of rounded, but it focuses it down there. And then this one has grips here and down here. So if it's raining or whatever, you need to use this to block, to do whatever, you can. And the same kind of focal point right here. So, but at the end of the day, it's just a cane. So $350 or $65. Both of them are effective. They're both 1-inch hardwood. They're both weigh about 1.5 pounds, almost 1.5 pounds. This one weighs 1 pound 2.5 ounces, so it's a little over a pound, not quite 1.5 pounds. This one weighs 1 pound 3.8 ounces. So very solid. This one, on the other hand, weighs about, I'm gonna say 8 ounces. It's very lightweight. You can definitely see the difference in these canes. I mean, this is heavier duty. So do you need a $350 cane? No, $65 cane will get the job done. It's a solid piece of wood.
Chuck Norris doesn't play hide and seek. He plays hide and pray I don't find you.
If you have to go places where you're not allowed to carry your firearm with you, but you want to have a way to protect yourself and your family, I encourage you might want to check into these canes. And look, is this useless? No, it's not useless. But it's a $20 cane. It would probably be better than nothing. But if you're serious, you spend a little more money, and you can get one that absolutely is going to be the real deal. So I hope this video has been helpful, somewhat interesting, and informative. So I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.